And we are back here at the ITB Berlin 2026. It's great to see you again. And of course, when we talk about poly-crisis in our previous panel, we also talked about economic crisis already. And this will be also keeping us busy now in our next session when we talk about how to revive Ukraine's economy through tourism. And to steer the conversation, I hand over to my colleague, Marianne Evenstein. Marianne, the stage is yours.
Everyone, good afternoon, and a warm welcome also from me. For those of us I haven't met yet, my name is Marianne Evenstein, and I'm really glad to be here on the orange stage one more time at the ITB. And of course, we've been talking about it throughout the day because this year's ITB comes at a particularly charged moment in the world. We're all watching events in the Middle East unfolding. The region is navigating enormous uncertainty, lots of fear, and nobody really knows what will happen next. And also, as we do know, however, the travel industry, more than many other sectors, feels tremors like these in real time. So this is why we're so privileged to be hearing next a keynote from Ukraine, because the question of how tourism can serve as a tool of reconstruction and resilience, it's not something that's abstract. It's something that Ukraine, in many ways, has had to become an expert in, and I know that we have a lot to learn from this country. It's become really a very important role model in this regard. So to take us through that story, it's now my pleasure to welcome the chairperson of the State Agency for Tourism Development of Ukraine. Let's have a very warm welcome for Natalya Tabaka.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, thank you for your continued solidarity with Ukraine and for the opportunity to contribute to this important discussion. We met at the time when global stability once again feels fragile. Recent geopolitical escalation and disruptions to air connectivity remind us how quickly mobility, confidence, and the economic planning can be affected. In today's interconnected world, security and tourism are inseparable. For Ukraine, this is not the theory, it's a reality. Tourism is more than an economic sector for us. It's a human-centered space where safety, dignity, identity, and trust are restored. In times of prolonged stress, it helps communities hold together, individuals recover their inner strengths. Today, tourism sustains resilience. Tomorrow, it will help to recover and restore our country. To understand the scale of this responsibility, we must recognize the scale of the losses. Russia's full-scale invasion has caused unpredictable economic damage. According to the Fifth Rapid Damage and Needs Assessments, direct losses exist $195 billion, while recovery needs over the next decade are estimated nearly $588 billion, almost 3 times Ukraine's GDP, annual GDP in 2025. Housing, transport, and energy, the very foundation for both the economy and tourism, have been hit the hardest. Destroyed infrastructure, closed airports, and disrupted logistics have severely consistent mobility, investment, and business activity across the country. Addressing these challenges requires sustained long-term commitment not only to repair what was damaged, but to rebuild stronger and more resilience. Having outlined financial dimensions and destructions, it's equally important to understand that the scale of losses goes far beyond economic indicators. Over 25% of Ukraine's most significant tourism assets and landmark destinations are today destroyed, damaged, and under occupation. Between 2022 and 2024 alone, more than 4,500 cultural and tourism sites were affected. As mid-2025, nearly 800,000 hectares of protected natural areas, almost 20% of Ukraine's protected natural heritage, remain under occupation or within active combat zone. Geralgaj Island, which you can see on the photo, has been turned into a military site, while the Lemurian Pink Lake is degrading due to uncontrolled extraction. The impact of destruction and damage extends far beyond southern and eastern regions, affecting heritage sites and tourism infrastructure across the country. The scale of loss is therefore not only financial, it's a cultural and environmental, shaping the long-term future of Ukraine's tourism landscape. Despite the full-scale invasion, the tourism sector has continued to generate growth in the tax revenues, reinforcing its role as an important contribution to both the state and local budgets, even under wartime conditions. In 2025, tax revenues from the tourism sector increased by 31.5%, reaching approximately $120 million. Local budget received 35% more in tourism tax revenues, adding roughly $10 million. These figures confirm the sector's resilience and its continued fiscal contribution to communities across the country. At the same time, a significant share of tourism activity still operates in the shade. This indicates not only untapped fiscal potential, but also the importance of continued reforms, digitalization, and transparent market regulation. The result of 2025 confirms that domestic tourism has become the foundation of the sector's resilience. Even in a time of war, tourism remains an important driver of community development and steady source of income for local budgets. To support local communities and stimulate economic recovery, the state has launched target initiatives designed to strengthen regional resilience. The first project I want to share, Place of Memory, it's a national tourism and memorial initiative that thoughtfully interprets the events of the war through carefully designed routes across sites of remembrance. Its purpose is to establish a structured, ethical, and safe model for engaging with places marked by tragedy, heroism, and resistance, integrating them into Ukraine's culture and tourism landscape while preventing the commercialization of so-called dark tourism. This is not disaster tourism. It is a framework for collective memory, historical education, and national cohesion. In the long term, Place of Memory will help establish a responsible culture of memorial tourism in Ukraine, strengthen international understanding of Ukraine's wartime experience, and lay the foundation for the development of post-war cultural and educational tourism. The next project, it's a Silent Mood Recovery Ways. It's a national program designed to support the recovery of Ukrainians through domestic travels. It integrates natural landscapes, cultural experiences, and local traditions within a model of slow, sustainable tourism. The program operates as a digital platform and a network of certified locations, offering space to quiet, nature, and reflection. It is not a medical rehabilitation initiative. Rather, it provides an accessible instrument for everyday psycho-emotional restoration and broad segments of the population. The economic impact of the program lies in generating new domestic tourism demand. Travel within Ukraine is positioned as a responsibility recovery practice, encouraging short trips, repeat visits, and extend seasonality. This ensures a stable flow of visitors for small and medium-sized enterprises in local communities, By combining social impact with economical logic, Silent Smooths established a new model of domestic tourism, one that supports human recovery and drives national economic growth. Building on these national programs, we already have the first partners and donors on board, demonstrating confidence in their dual impact, strengthening social resilience while driving economic renewal. At the same time, we remain open to further cooperation and new strategic partnership. However, isolated projects alone are not enough. To ensure long-term systematic impact, we initiated the creation of international organization to join International Tourism Alliance for Ukraine. We invite partner states, institutions, and organizations to join to this long-term framework of cooperation. Following countries have already confirmed their readiness to join the alliance. Namely, it is Austria, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Germany, Italy, Lithuania, Malta, Poland, Romania, and today we have a new member on the board, European Travel Commission, said yes to Tourism Alliance for Ukraine. The purpose of the alliance is clear: to integrate tourism into the broader recovery architecture as a driver of economic growth, social cohesion, and international integration. The alliance is built on openness, equal partnership, and coordinated action, and operates as a flexible platform focused on three priorities: sustainable tourism and cultural heritage protection, regional recovery through target territorial support and infrastructure development, and of course, educational, digitalization, and innovation. At the same time, we recognize that recovery must be data-driven. Strong foundations are essential. Reliable data system and modern tourism strategy and updates tourism legislation aligned with European standards. Our initiative connects expertise, experience, and financial support to lead tourism into balance, ensuring that tourism becomes a tool for both economic recovery and a human restoration. The alliance is therefore not only a platform for cooperation, it's a call to action. I invite you to join us. You can scan a QR code and learn more about this declaration about Tourism Alliance for Ukraine. And you will find draft of declaration. We proposed for you to consideration and signature as a first step towards structured long-term partnership. And the final words that I want to say and share with the world today: let's plan Ukraine. As we conclude, and when you think of the future your trips of travel, include Ukraine into your vision, not only as a country that endures war, but as a country of culture, nature, and resilient people. A country shaping a regenerative tourism model, one that heals people, strengthens communities, and protects landscape. A model that respects memory, preserves truth, and honors dignity. Recovery is not only about rebuilding places, it's about rebuilding trust, connection, and hope. So let this be our shared message. Let's plan Ukraine, and let's be a part of this renewal. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for standing with us.